People always ask us heaps of questions about roof racks, and I think today it's time to answer as many of them as I possibly can in one video. We'll go over the real truth about load ratings, what kind of roof racks you might need for your car, how those roof racks would go onto your car, and how to get the best out of your roof racks, all the way from purchase to getting them on your rig and enjoying yourself out there on the trails. So, first things first, the number one question we get asked is, will these roof racks fit my car? What roof racks do I need for my car? This kind of breaks it down into two distinct separate types. The first one is gutter mounts. If you've got an old Patrol or 70 series or one of the older high aces, or really any vehicle built before the end of the 90s, you're probably going to have gutters on your roof, and in that case you'll want our gutter mount roof racks. Gutter mount roof racks by their nature are fully universal. As long as they're wide enough and the brackets are tall enough, you can and will just plonk them on your gutter. They'll clamp on, and that goes for every single vehicle with gutters out there, no matter what. We have a listing on our website, which we'll probably put a link to in the description, for our fully universal gutter mount roof racks, where you can select the bracket height and the bar length to suit whichever vehicle you've got. Just do your measurements. The second type is a bit more complicated. These are for vehicles which do not have gutters. And you're still going to need to find some way of putting these things on your roof, and here's where it can get a little bit tricky, a little bit confusing. So what we've got is we've got this bracket here, which will mount onto any one of our bars, whether it's the X-type bar for non-gutter mount roof racks, or even the H-type bar for some heavy-duty applications in things like high aces and vans, where you have a bit more weight to play with. They will then attach to one of our brackets here, like so, and this bracket is what attaches to the car. This is important because you can attach this bracket to the car one of about a million different ways, really. And we always include the kit that you need for your vehicle in with whichever kit that you buy, depending on your vehicle. Usually, you've got this center hole here. That lines up with a threaded hole that's inside the vehicle roof already. If your vehicle has an option for factory roof rails, then you'll have that threaded hole already in your roof, possibly under the little gutter stripping that we've got there. All you do is you put the bolt through this hole and screw it into the mounting hole that you already have made by the manufacturer, rated for loading stuff onto the roof up to the manufacturer's capacity. We'll get to that later. Some roofs also have a bit of a curve to them, and we sell spacer kits that stack up on top of each other, keep the load nice and good, go on top of this, and so you can put, if you've got a roof that's a bit lower on the front than it is on the back, you could have maybe one spacer on the back and three on the front to even it out. And for some vehicles, you're going to need to drill holes in the roof. In this case, you can use any number of the holes in this bracket. You put the corresponding holes in your vehicle roof and tighten it down from the bottom using this 3-nut locking plate, which you put on the underside. Again, if your vehicle needs to be drilled in, your kit will have the right components. If your vehicle has the built-in mounting points for the manufacturer's roof rails, then your kit will contain the right bolts to put this bracket onto those mounting holes so that your roof racks can stay on securely. Let's talk about why roof racks whistle, because that's another common question that we get asked. Roof racks whistle because this is a hollow metal structure that you can probably see on camera and look all the way through it. When this hollow metal structure has wind pass over it as you drive, it vibrates at the frequency that the wind is passing over it. That vibration right there is what makes them whistle. There's no real way to combat this, because no matter what you do, if you have a metal pipe, it will vibrate with the wind. The best way to mitigate roof rack noise is to think carefully about the placement of the roof racks so that they're not too close to the front of the car, and also to make sure that when you're installing them, you install the rubber strips on the top and on the bottom that will be supplied with your kit. A quick word about our roof rack end caps as well. Quite a few people end up breaking these when they're installing them. The reason for this is that these are made to fit extremely snug. If you just try and put it on there, it'll barely fit. you will have to heat these up with a hairdryer or a heat gun and slide them on gently. Don't just kind of jam them on there because they will snap. These are made to be hard and they're made to stay on there once they're on there, so that anything that you put in with a channel nut or a tie down doesn't just randomly come flying off. Heat these up before you use them, guys. Otherwise you'll end up snapping them and have to buy replacement. Let's talk about how much weight your roof racks can hold. This is the #1 question that we always get asked about our roof racks and roof racks in general. How much weight can these take? Can I put a roof tent on them? Can I put this on them? Can I put that on them? The answer is that if we were to build up, say, one of these kits with this leg, this bracket, and this bar, place it on the ground, say 2 of them, just put them on the ground, and put stuff on them progressively, we would probably run out of stuff before they break. These can hold an insane amount of weight on their own. The problem is, the limiting factor here is always going to be the roof of your car. The roof of your car, in most cases, almost every case, was not made to handle a load. It was made to not crumple if you flip your car, not to keep a load on there and handle all the stress that comes with turning and going over bumps and all the other things that you do in the case of your daily driving with an extra weight honked on top of there. The manufacturer of every vehicle has set a roof load limit for that vehicle. They have calculated it. They know that there are people who will need to put stuff on their roof, and they've put in an allowance for that. But we can't possibly keep track of all those numbers. There are hundreds of thousands of different vehicles out there. Even in terms of the vehicles that we sell things for, which is mostly utes and four-wheel drive wagons as well as some vans, there are probably, in terms of model numbers and different trims and different years, several hundred, if not several thousand different vehicles that we actually have things for. We cannot possibly keep track of all of those roof load ratings. And in a lot of cases, manufacturers don't just openly publish it. If you have the vehicle's handbook, you'll probably be able to find it in there. In most cases, you will have to call the manufacturer and ask them, or call the selling dealer and ask them. It's a quick call. You ring your Toyota dealer, you ring your Isuzu dealer, you ring Isuzu Direct, you ring Toyota Direct, you ask them, you give them your vehicle's VIN, and they will find that information out and tell you. They're not trying to keep it from you, and they're not trying to hide it, but it's just not something that we can easily keep track of. And the responsibility, according to the law, is always on you as the driver to make sure that your load is appropriate and secured. A word about roof tents. If you have a wagon, then you're going to need to check the roof load rating, but a roof tent is going to be much easier to fit. If you have a ute, you do not want to be putting a roof tent on the cab, okay? This Hilux here behind me is an absolute beast. It's fully kitted, all the Bosco gear, and yet Toyota sets its roof capacity to 90 kilograms. I'm pretty sure that I weigh around 90 kilograms, maybe a bit more because I'm fat, but that 90 kilograms is the absolute maximum that you can put on that roof. That doesn't allow for even you on your own usually, never mind you plus a tent. Maybe you won't damage your roof. Maybe you will, who's to tell, but all roof tents on a ute need to go over the tub. It's safer, it improves your handling, improves your center of gravity, and more importantly, the tub itself has the full payload available in its structure to any ute user. Well, unless you've got an older Triton with those curved sides, because they've got curved sides, you can't transfer weight to curved sides easily. But in terms of roof load rating, I cannot stress this enough. Check with the manufacturer. It's set by the manufacturer. And these roof racks here, any of our roof rack kits, will beat the manufacturer's roof load rating for any vehicle all on their own. The other type of roof load device that people are usually interested in is platforms. We've got platforms for heaps of different models of utes and wagons, and they're useful because if you can't mount a rooftop tent on the cab of your ute, you might as well use that cab to store other stuff. Your Max Tracks, your swag, a little box with gear, jerry cans. We've got heaps of different options for accessories for all our roof racks and roof platforms. Your pipe clamps, your recovery track holders, jerry can holders, awnings, shower tents, all kinds of stuff. All of it fits using a channel system. You get a channel nut to put in the channel on your roof rack here, or your roof platform, an identical channel there, and then you just screw through whatever it is that you need to put on. That'll come with its own brackets. If you buy it from us, definitely. If you buy it from somebody else, maybe you might have to buy the bracket separately. I don't know. Roof platforms are mounted on top of a backbone, and that backbone has triangular feet. Those triangular feet will attach to your roof the exact same way as this bracket, either through a hole in the OEM roof rail mounting points, or if you drop the headliner and you have to drill through your roof. Speaking of drilling through your roof, that's no fun. Nobody wants to be drilling through their roof on a Saturday. You want to be having beers out with your mates. We have a network of recommended fitters all over Australia that will usually be close enough to where you are that it's not too much of a task to drive out there and ask them to do it for you. They'll do a proper pro job. They do this day in, day out, every day. They can just get your stuff and put it on for you. Much easier, and it's not always that expensive. Save your effort, have beers with your mates instead, and get a pro to do the job, and you will have a much better experience with all of your four-wheel drive gear. Not saying that you couldn't or shouldn't be doing it yourself. Always a good idea to DIY, always a good idea to learn. But if you just want to get the most out of your four-wheel drive gear and you don't want to have to spend an entire Saturday getting skin knuckles and cursing at yourself for deciding to do this, just call a pro. They'll do it, you'll get it fitted, and they'll come out nice, shiny, and new for you. If you want to install at home, you purchase your roof racks from us, you will get, with your roof racks, a little instruction booklet. It will contain a parts list. It will contain a section describing the general principle of attaching the roof rack. That is, the leg going to the bracket, going to the bar. And then you will have a table of vehicle-specific fitment clues that you need to figure out what you need to do in your specific case. That table will only contain the things that aren't going to be the same for every roof rack out there, the things that only pertain to that vehicle. Which hole you use, how many bolts you use, whether or not there's a hole at all, what you need to watch out for if you're going to be drilling. Do you need to take a headliner down, yes or no? Is there a special thing that you need to do? All of that is contained in our general instruction pack that comes out with every single one of our roof racks. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're here 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. We're answering emails, we're answering live chat, we're picking up the phone. We're here, we're ready to help. If you have specific fitment questions, you're in the middle of something, easiest thing to do, open a live chat on our website, wait for our reply, and then send us a picture of exactly what's going on. We'll be able to help you much better if you send us a picture of your specific circumstances. Anytime, give us a call. We're always happy to help. Stay safe out there. Enjoy four-wheel driving. Enjoy discovering this beautiful country and all its wonderful tracks, and we'll see you in the next one. That roof rack to... No, I'm going to start again. Nope. Never mind, I'm going to start again. For all the roof vehicle... Nope. If... And that's how he died. Filming a video for Bosco. Hang on. Just wait. It's like he doesn't even care that we're filming a video. All right, let's try that again.